What is going on, everybody? Good morning, everyone. Listen, you're probably wondering why. There's a lot of meat here. Yes, there is a lot of.
Oh, here we go. Not even 30 seconds into the show, you got to bring up meat.
Yeah, well, look. Good morning.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. It looks like we got.
The jacuzzi's cranked up.
Yeah, you're happy. You haven't been around this much meat in a long time.
It's like hot tub time machine up in this John.
Yeah,
No pants are required.
Version more like it.
this is awesome. We have
the attacking third. We got the Sully squad.
Yes.
And of course, we got the man behind the glass. We got our man, Big Al. What's up, Al?
You apparently.
Yeah. Ooh,
Just don't have anybody betting on the Browns Denver game back from like 80, going back in time in 86. Remember that?
Literally today.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, everyone. This is our I call it the Holiday Havoc Show, the New Year's Eve show. So, look, man, it's been a big, 2022, and I am surrounded, like I said, the Solar Squad. You can catch Joe every Monday night at 6 p.m. You can catch the Attacking Third every Thursday night at 9 p.m. And, of course, you catch our man Al every Wednesday night at 8:30 with him and Joe Sheeran. Those are guys who are always fun to watch. But, guys, let's... look, there's a lot to get into, but before we talk about we're obviously going to address the whole 2022 year as far as sports. But listen, I got to get into it. The Sixers go toe to toe last night with the Pelicans. A lot of bad overturns by the Sixers. A lot of just they weren't making their shots. It was just not their best night for basketball. The Pelicans look like a better team, led by Mr. Monty Green over there, as far as a former Sixer. So again, he does a great job coaching these guys. A team that's under the radar still, no one knows who they are. But man, if you are CJ McCollum, who was dropping 11, it was 11 for 16 from three-point land.
He went 11 threes.
Yeah, he was smoking hot from the perimeter, and then you had Zion Williams just tearing it up inside the paint, just constantly driving.
Where's Joel?
Oh, you gotta stop.
You
gotta stop. Let's wait for that.
Gus, I'm gonna let you.
I drank my water enough for this.
That's all right.
First of all,
Trade him.
Whip it out.
First of all, Zion's gonna eat. All right, he's good.
I don't care. Zion's not 7'2". He's
not.
He's supposed to be an imposing defensive guy. Again, trade him.
Hold on 1 second, Mike. Just so you know, he had 37 points last night.
I don't want to hear
5 assists.
8 rebounds. 8 rebounds. Are you kidding me? You're 7'2". How you can get 8 rebounds?
He needs to lead in scoring, though,
He's
bro.
the leader in scoring.
So what? He don't play defense.
All
Look
right.
at his defensive numbers for over the last year. He's not playing defense. Listen, I want him to be great because you know what? You're going to get more in return for him when you decide to trade him.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, Mike, you're never going to get equal value because I'll make an argument for you right now. Miami Heat call you up on the phone. They offer you like a Bam Adebayo and like a Tyler Hero. You know what that's going to get the Sixers? And it's not going to happen. But the bottom line is, even if you did make a deal like that, the Sixers are no better than a 7 seed.
No.
The only chance the Sixers have is keep Joel Embiid for the next 2 to 3 years, ride this out, and if you win, you win. Great. If not, then you're counting ping pong balls again. That's the only chance you got because you're never going to win with anything you get for him.
Trading Embiid right now does nothing for the Sixers. It really
Actually, it can.
But how? Tell me how.
Because they can get draft capital back, of which they lost when they had to trade Ben Simmons.
So again,
What good's that do?
yeah, right.
What do you mean what good said?
How good drafted have we been in the past 15 years?
So you hold on to this guy, and he's going to break his face
You
for a
hold on
third.
to the leader of the league in points? Yes.
And what has it gotten us, Gus? What has it gotten us? A second-round knockout.
Yeah.
Stop.
Do we get better without
No.
Exactly. What?
And you're not going to. You guys actually all sitting here think right now Sixers can go to the NBA Finals? You're nuts.
The point is that with Embiid, we have a better chance.
No, you don't. You have a better chance of maybe making it to the Eastern Conference Final.
I do, and I'll tell you why. Because at the trade deadline, you have a chance to possibly make a trade. Now, I don't know how legitimate this rumor is, but I've been looking around. There, a perfect example is the Charlotte Hornets. They suck. They're tanking for the French kid, right? You may be able to trade a Thibault, a Korkmaz, the young kid Springer, and maybe a second-round pick and get a guy like a Kelly Oubre in here. Now, if you get a guy like a Kelly Oubre, you add him to this team who can. Kelly Oubre could score. He could be a really good supporting player with a Harden, a Maxey. The other thing is too, these guys haven't even played together, dude. They've only been together for maybe like 7 games this whole year. Like you got to see what this roster can do. You got to give them at least 20, 25 games.
Listen, the only thing I do agree with, and that me and Pat have agreed with over this, I love what they did with the bench.
One thing.
Yeah.
And then trust me and Mike never agree.
The bench, I love what they did with the bench. I think Anthony Milton has been a steal.
Absolutely.
You know, I think with Maxey being out, this guy's actually asserted himself. You know what I mean? Now, my question for you guys is, with Maxey being back, yes, Ryan, you're hearing this. Trade him.
Not from only from one guy, Ryan.
Me, right here, me. I said it. Trade him
Mr.
now.
Flyer over there.
Yes.
And check out my man Ryan Smee on the Sambu podcast. Listen, every Thursday night at 8:00. But listen, man, he's Smitty. I don't know what we're
The second best defense. The dude plays defense at the.
Oh my God,
He's not horrible.
He's not good.
I don't know.
Like, listen, when the Sixers are coming out saying, when the Sixers are coming out, when your own team's coming out and saying, dude, you need to start playing better defense, that's saying something.
Yeah, here goes our man.
Like, I'm not saying it. This is your organization coming out saying you need to do better.
Well, Sean saying after a bad night, there's 37 points a bad night.
Well, no, I'm thinking.
I think
if he's talking about, I think if he's talking about total team, if you look at it this way, you won the assist battle, and the blocks battle, but you got destroyed in the steals battle, destroyed in the turnovers battle, and the points in the paint battle again. So that's where it hurts you.
But we didn't have a good game team wise, right? Let's not just point out NBA.
No.
We didn't have a good
total.
game too. But how often is CJ McCollum going to drop 42 points?
I was about to
Like,
exactly,
that
Gus. That's what I was all about to say.
That doesn't happen
Well,
often.
last time I checked, McCollum's an NBA All-Star, so I mean he's not a scrub.
When's the last time he dropped 40? It's the second time he's done it ever. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. He doesn't do this a lot, and he just happened to have a good game. He had a stroke going, and we went in.
Yeah.
We had a bad game, and we were
well,
within
hold
11.
on. Who actually thought that they were going to win that game last night? Like, really, seriously, the night before, the night before New Year's Eve, they're in New Orleans. Come on, dude. Harden was hitting up every strip club down there.
That's a completely different.
And also, it was the first game that Maxey was back for a little while too. He had been out with an injury, so there was a lot.
Do you heat him back, guys?
I believe I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Do you make him the sixth man, and then?
And it's just because of Melton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The only reason, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean, he only got 19 minutes last night.
But
so.
at one point, you do need to get him back in the starting rotation, and then have Melton be a sixth man.
So with that said, in the beginning I was like everything was looking pretty good. I'm like, do you put him in as a 6A? You know, like the 6th man, bring him in, so you can have almost like 2 starting lineups for lack of better words. But at this point, I think you put him back in the starting, depending on who they're playing, depending on the matchup. Now, you get a stronger team. I say you don't. You put him in the starting lineup. You get a team that may be a little weaker. You know, like you'll be playing the Pacers. Right. Yeah, maybe you make him your 6th man there. I don't know. But like, yeah, obviously, I mean, he hasn't played since before Thanksgiving. So obviously you're gonna ease him back in.
Right. And look at tonight, like a game like again, they got the Thunder coming in, or they're going out to Thunder. You know, Thunder is a better home team. They're 10-8 at home. You might want to still they're not knocking the world down. So you might want to give them a shot to see what you do there. You know what I'm saying? Here goes our man Chris. Last year run up for MVP. Trade him. What the F?
Yeah. Bye.
My man.
No, what I'm trying to get
like you guys.
I don't even get where you're getting this, but I want to know what.
I don't even want to know. He's like, I don't even want to know.
What do you want to get in return for Embiid other than just draft capital? Because obviously we haven't been good.
Hold on, I'm going to use your own argument against you because you guys are saying he's the MVP, he's doing this, he's doing that. So how do you not figure the Sixers can't get a boatload? How can you not get draft capital for him?
Wait, can I ask you a question though? If you're looking for draft capital, then why don't you stick it? First off, you have Harden, who's 33 years old and is a free, and he can opt out at the end of the year. Okay, if you want to make this argument with me 2 years from now, I may agree with you. But for right now, you need to ride this out. You got a James Harden. So all right, let's fast forward this 2.5 years from now. Okay, I might be on board with you then, because at that point, maybe Harden's either done or he's not here. You have a young Maxey. Then maybe you move Embiid for draft capital, and at
But
that
you're not going to get as much draft
yeah, you
capital
still
back.
you still will, if he's, as long as he's playing at a pretty good at a decent level, you still will, because a contending team, if it's all you're getting is draft capital, a contending team will sit there and be like, Joel Embiid will give us the chip. We'll give up 2-3 first round picks. You're still going to get that.
A contending team's not going to have draft capital that I want.
Exactly. Well,
that's the thing. Like,
right. You guys are saying
unless it's far off though. Like it would be
I'll agree with
like
you, Sean.
say all right, say this, right? Say the Golden State Warriors want to take another run. This is 2 years down the road, and they want to give you a first round pick, maybe 3-4 years. It would be like a Hinkie type trade, an unprotected pick, like 3-4 years down the road. Well, at that point, Steph Curry's done, Klay Thompson's done. Then maybe you're getting a number 1 pick overall. That's the only way you do that kind of move.
And to answer your earlier question, you used some argument against me. You won't get that much capital for Embiid because he's a 7.25. We all know that his the length of the NBA is not going to be that
his window's
long.
going to be extremely
So
limited.
Okay,
you don't think other
But
teams
hold
don't
on, this is where I'm using your argument against you, because you guys are pumping him up. He's the MVP. He's
Right
the runner-up.
now,
He's
he
doing
is, yeah.
okay. So why not trade him now? Why his value is higher 2 years from now?
Because you're not going to get anything that makes your team
Because you
better.
got
How do you know that?
Yeah, but you have a chance to win, bro. You got to. This team has a chance to win.
And everyone around here thinks I'm slap nuts around
You're
here.
throwing
You
this
are.
up in the air and saying, "Let's see what we get later on." When you have an MVP sitting in front of you.
Nah.
With Philadelphia fans do this all the freaking time. Like it's
No, because
Oh
you
my.
want to know why? Because I've seen this video play out over the last 2 years. This team is not getting past the second round. They're not beating Milwaukee in the best of 7. They're not beating Boston in the best of 7.
I'm not willing to say that.
Yeah, but like
Are we a better team this year?
all due respect, though, Mike, we are way better with Joel.
You guys are drinking
Yes,
the Kool-Aid,
so
man.
are we a better team this year?
Your bench is better. Yes,
Our expected
That's not what I
offense
asked.
is
Are we
way
a
better.
better team this
we have
year?
to wait and see about that.
So you're throwing things.
Yeah, but no,
why
I'm
not
not,
do-
because
I'm
I'm looking at
Now
it.
I'm
like
using your argument against
You too.
Our expected offensive output is better with Embiid on the floor compared.
You're saying that
He's one
now
of
until he
the-
breaks his face for the
He's
third
one
time.
of the best big men in the league. You don't
That
give
can't
that up.
stay healthy in the playoffs.
But when he's healthy,
I
he's
don't want to hear but, dude. He don't stay healthy.
We talk about it all the time. When a player is healthy, he is way better for us than
When he's
not.
healthy, he's not
Embiid is
healthy.
the league-leading scorer
This
and
is
a
great.
runner-up
He's
for
not
MVP
healthy.
this year. This man
So if
is
we trade him, and
paramount
he's
to our
healthy, how you
success.
feel?
I'll meet you and Sully in the middle on this one.
Good luck.
No,
Joel
let's
Embiid is
go. Hold
paramount
hold
to
on.
this team's success.
Whip
And you
it
want to
out
get
now.
rid of the linchpin
Let me
of
know what
this
you got.
team.
Here's the thing: is at this point,
There's no other team.
I
in the league
think
that's
if you
7'2"
wait,
as versatile as Joel.
I said
aside
this.
from
I
Jokic.
made this prediction at the beginning of this year. I said if they don't do well, and it's a second round out again or less, that Embiid's going to want to leave. It's not going to be just us wanting him gone. It would be him.
Dude,
wanting
he's
to-
already playing that seed now. Oh, they want me traded.
Here's my thing.
Like he wants out.
Here's my thing. Well, that's the immaturity in Embiid still. He's always going to have that diva superstar in him. They all have that. Like look at the Harden thing that came out right on Christmas morning.
Yeah, I
That
know.
he'd be willing to go back to Houston. You know that came from some camp. Either he's looking like if this doesn't work out this year, I'm leaving and I'm going to get paid somewhere else.
Yeah, that had to come
Like
from somewhere.
that had to come from
Right.
somewhere. My
Right.
point is they all do it. They plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is a backup exit plan. Okay, you know what I mean. He keeps a little black book for his girlfriend in his back pocket just in case the current relationship he's in doesn't work out, and that's how they're handling it. My point is, you're going to get the same ish capital for Joel Embiid if you trade him in this upcoming offseason.
Yes, I can believe that. If they wait till the end of the year. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that.
Play
I'm not
this-
saying like
you play-
I said I would do it now because of the draft capital that you would get back. The difference between now and the end of the season is
nominal at best.
Yeah, right. But 2 years from now, no, you're not going to get back the same draft capital that you're going to get back now. It's
No.
just
Yeah, but I
2
don't.
years older.
I don't care about that though, because if you're first off, at the end, the only reason the Sixers tanked is because the 7 or 8 seed is NBA purgatory. If you add a couple decent role players and draft picks, you're in NBA purgatory. So for me, I say fuck it, ride it out. If you win, great. If you don't, then I'd rather totally suck. I'd rather totally blow. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather suck.
So
yeah.
Sean,
Ride it out.
So Sean's saying, "Where's Jokic?" Finals trophy, the best center in the NBA, and he's won none. Oh, who is Denver is talking about trading Joker?
They don't.
They don't.
Because
What
they
he's
know
trying to
that
say
he's
is
better
like,
with
Somebody probably, you know what though? Somebody probably does because
that's a fan. That's a fan
because he
base,
doesn't
though.
play
Yeah,
defense.
As a
He's
fan
not
base,
the
you're
first
gonna get,
person
you're
I've
gonna
heard
get that
that.
kind of talk no matter where you go. But like I'm like the boat that I'm in is the same one. Like this team is more valuable. Embiid is more valuable to this team than we're letting on.
and you want funny to say more valuable from an ownership standpoint.
Yeah, that's
He's
about it.
100% more
Mike,
valuable.
let me ask you. You say you want draft capital for Embiid. What kind of draft capital?
Yeah, like
are you thinking about
where
getting?
would you
Like,
send
what
him?
are you looking to get back for Embiid?
I think you can get at least 3 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
But what
You're laughing, dude.
but that could be Markel Fultz, Jahlil Okafor, and Zaire Smith.
Okay, but then that's
Bro,
when you.
listen.
But that's when you kill your front office if they do that.
Listen, you're first of all, you're not going to get 3 first round.
Oh,
picks.
sure you would.
No,
Sure you would. Hold on, man. Like, you guys are pumping him up. He's the MVP, and you're going to try and tell me in the NBA an MVP?
He is a 7-2.
I don't care.
You're not going to get 3 first round picks.
Yes, you would.
That's ludicrous. No.
Well, I think you would, but I wipe my ass with first round picks.
Right, that's you.
Seriously, I wipe my ass with first round picks. In the NBA, unless it's top 5, I don't give a fuck if you give me a first round pick.
If you do, it's going to be from a contender, and the draft picks are going
How do you? But here's the thing: he doesn't control where he goes. He goes where the Sixers trade him, where the Sixers get the best offer.
Nah,
So-
these players
but
pick
do you
where they
think, my
go.
question, Mike, is do you think a team who's not going to compete?
No, we got 4. The Brooklyn Nets got 4 first-round draft picks from the Sixers, along with Ben Simmons.
Okay, they're going to be low end draft picks.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're going to get
Still
25
four.
or above.
Yeah, but
at best you get a moderately good
how many
six-man,
players
like that.
make a difference in the late first round? Like, really? How many times have we hit on a maxi?
You're going to take 2 of those first round picks,
Picks, right?
and maybe you could spin it into a top 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
10 to 15.
Yep.
So then you have to take a third round pick and maybe move that up to a 10 spot. My point is, at this juncture, the Sixers are playing poker right now, right? And they pushed all their chips in. You can't do side bets now. You got nothing left to work with.
Yeah, and plus
I
the
don't
way
know.
the NBA is now, like trading away a player to get draft capitals is too janky now. You can't. It's not worth as much as it used to be.
So Al, let me ask you a question. What do you take out last night's game? Like I said, Sixers playing the 2-3 zone on defense, bunch of bad turnovers, looks like a bunch of miscommunication. CJ McCollum goes off. I mean, I like what James Harden. Obviously, I like a lot of people don't give him credit, but I like him being a facilitator. He's reading the defenses. He's doing, you know what I mean? What do you take out of last night's game? Them playing against the number 1 team in the West. I mean, is that a measuring stick for you? Or are you buying into it? Or do you still have to wait till April? Or really, buy, see what goes on with this team. What do you take out of last night's game? And don't forget, because they play they're going to play the Pelicans actually Monday night too.
In Philly, yeah. Listen, you can only read so much in certain games. Unfortunately, ever since Doc Rivers dropped in the scheduled loss mentality, and I'm not saying this was a scheduled loss at all, but I'm saying is you guys kind of made the joke. I don't know if it was off air or when we just first got on air. Somebody said, it goes, they were in New Orleans on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, they were partying.
Like,
come on, he was hitting up.
At least we know somebody.
Yeah, well, my ultimate point is does that play a factor? Unfortunately, we have to think like that. Like, you would think you wouldn't have to, but we all know the NBA does not. From players to ownership to the guys who run the show, they don't take regular season very seriously. Yeah, no, it's a good way of putting it. I love when people say he went off. Yeah, anybody can go off, right? I mean,
Right,
CJ
yeah.
had 42 points, like I said, a career 11 threes, those kind of stats. Which at times it is hard to defend that guy, but couldn't somebody once he starts going, all right, hit 5, 6, and 7. Why are you not having somebody who's like white on rice on him at that point?
Let me ask you a question. No Brandon Ingram last night. The perimeter shooting was actually horrible. 2 for 7 from Niang. I think 2 for 5 for Tobias Harris. I mean, do you buy into that? I mean,
well, here you go. Here's your point. You got 4 players who scored in the double digits.
Right.
Of course, Embiid with 37. Harden had 20. Anthony Melton had 11, and Tobias had 14. You're not going to survive off of that all the time. And when they were playing well and they were playing better teams, you had Niang putting up 12 plus. You had Shake Milton putting up 12 plus. Now, Milton's numbers go down significantly because 19 of those minutes that Maxey had to go somewhere.
Mhm.
Well, and Joe, this is where like I said, this is where I checked in your show with you and Diego and Sean last week. That's why I said they were beating up teams that weren't really contenders. Now you're facing Knicks on Christmas, who are a fifth seed or now sixth seed. You're going to face the Pelicans. Does this tell you something?
I was going to say,
No, you can buy into it.
I disagree because here's the thing we have to keep in perspective. Now, Philadelphia, we all agree, is mostly a football town, correct?
Correct, Monday.
So the Philadelphia fan and many of us have that mentality of the football mentality where it's one of 17 now. So every single game in the NFL it's an event and it's a big game. You can't watch you can't watch the other sports like that. The NBA, like Al said,
That's a marathon.
The NBA is a marathon. These guys don't show up every night. That's why the NBA is a hard league to bet unless you look for spots. Like if you're looking at the NBA, if you want to bet, say a team's on a East or West Coast trip and they're on like the fourth or fifth game of a big road trip, you may want to bet against that team because they're getting ready to go home. You know what I mean? Like the NBA is not. So it's hard to, if you're looking at a regular season game on New Year's Eve in New Orleans. Like it's hard to be like I can't watch that game and be like, man, New Orleans is so much better than the Sixers. No, it's one game. You know what I mean? Like that's why NBA has series. It's not just a one and out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The point to that game is that we really didn't have a good game. We turned the ball over way too much. Zion Williamson had 36. CJ McCollum had 42, and then the rest of the guys over there just did what they usually do. And I think Valanciunas scored like what 8, 10 points or something. I don't
Single
know.
digits, I believe.
But it's not going to happen every night. Now, CJ McCollum he just had a great game.
10.
I'm old enough to remember back in the '90s, the Sixers were terrible. They had a guy. They had a guy by the name of Willie Burton that scored 53 points one night. Willie Burton. Anybody remember Willie Burton?
I remember.
You know what I mean? I like collect jerseys. I couldn't find. I bet you I couldn't find a Willie Burton jersey if my life depended on it. Nobody knows who the hell he is.
Rick Mahorn.
You know what I mean?
Well, and here's the thing is if I kind of went down that stat line for the points by the Sixers. If you look at the Pelicans, I mean, they actually had only 4 guys go into, only one guy went above 10, or 4 guys went above 10, but 42 points from McCollum and 36 points from Zion.
That's 70 points.
Mhm.
Yeah, 80 points. So.
Yeah, no, it's more almost 80 points. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. When a guy here's my thing is look at the other guys around him. You had 10 points for Valanciunas. You had Murphy giving you 8, and then you had Willie giving you 13. But my point is, if you see a guy all right, fine, Zion's going to get his. Like people say, oh, LeBron's going to get his. That guy's going to get his. Fine. But the fact that you let CJ McCollum get 42 and this is where I blame Doc. This is where I blame.
That's another reason I don't think they get past the second round.
Well, see,
you got a guy.
That's a legitimate reason.
That's another reason.
My thing is, I actually want to look at this. I'm trying to find his stats by quarter. By the half, and McCollum was going off all night. It wasn't like he just went off in the third.
He was just feeling it last night.
Yeah, but at what point as a coach you go,
dude, you got to stick somebody.
Don't let that guy out of your sight. You are on him. Foul the hell out for all I care. You are on him. Do not let him get his threes. Do not let him score in bunches.
That's not how Glenn coaches.
Yeah, I was about to say, Glenn
refused to call him Doc.
No, he's not Doc. He's Glenn.
Right.
That's not how he coaches.
I love it, guys. I love it.
It's infuriating, and
it's the truth.
And that's a legitimate reason why.
That's why that's to me. That's the main reason why I don't think the Sixers get past the second round.
That and the fact that he can't call a last play. I've never seen. I don't understand how this man won a championship with the Celtics. He can't call a last second play to save his life.
Yeah, well, a lot of times. But don't you guys think though, like I was saying though, how this is 1 out of 82? Don't you think though, if you were matched up with the Pelicans in a best of 7, you would to play devil's advocate? Don't you think he would make an adjustment and not let CJ beat him? I mean, this is 1 out of 82.
But CJ's not going to do this every time.
Yeah, right.
Al's more talking about in-game adjustments.
Yeah,
which is what we struggle with. Like CJ's not gonna do this every single night. She's just not that kind of
Right.
player. But if you're seeing that you're being torched by a CJ McCollum, not that he's not good. I understand he was an all-star. Not that he's not good, but if you see that he's feeling it,
You need to
like
lock
why
him
wouldn't
down.
you have somebody go out there who's like, don't leave your man. Like
Yeah.
stick him.
Get one.
Yeah.
You get
Get your best defensive player.
Hey, Matisse. See this guy?
Follow him.
You don't let
You follow him to the
Fail out.
bathroom. You follow him wherever you
Yeah,
go.
right.
Fail out.
Right
If we call timeout, you go to that bench and sit right next to him. Like that's the kind. Like, and you know what? I think that's like I said. It kind of goes back. I agree. Like I'm not
going to bite the eat after the game, reaching into his pocket and feeling you instead of his wallet.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like you need to be on top of this guy, and it's one of the things that Rivers never does.
And I keep bringing up the fact when he said scheduled loss. The fact
Yeah,
that is a cultural. Like this loss was acceptable. Nobody was hanging their head at the end of the game. Nobody went back in the locker room like, oh, we could have had this. Nothing. It didn't happen that way. And that's my problem with it. My problem ultimately runs in with that is a cultural situation in the locker room. And
that's a dangerous way to view games, by the way. And just because nobody goes to a game and say, oh, schedule loss, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, we lose a game right after New Year's, whatever in New Year's, that's fine. Like I'm not sweating it.
Well,
we lost a game where somebody went off, that's fine.
ladies and gentlemen,
but to come in and just be like, oh, schedule loss, that's a dangerous thing.
And it's not just a scheduled loss thing. It's all about he's not like you want guys that like look at the Eagles. They lost the second game of the season, right? You guys pretty much crying on the sideline, right? Because you will have a culture in your locker room that winning is important, and don't be happy just to say, hey, we have the best record in the league. Or you know, best record in the division, or we're odds-on favorites to go to the playoffs or win the Super Bowl. No, be happy with every game by game. Give it your hardest. Leave it out on the field or the court or wherever you're playing at the time. But that is listen, it's very much an NBA culture thing. Like somebody said earlier, I think Sully, you said like it's 80. You know,
It's 1 out of 82.
One out of
Yeah.
82, and I'm not gonna beat you up about it, but it's not 1 out of 82. This one is 1 out of 82, but there could be like 10 out of 82 or 15 out of 82 that they find acceptable losses.
Yeah, but you know, what I mean, and you can't use that. I mean, like you said, culture, right? You can't go into a locker room and say, "Well, listen, we lost to the Pelicans, and that's acceptable." Like, no, this is the kind of games you prepare for. You know, a contender. You see a contender on your schedule. That's the kind of teams you want to especially bring your A game. You know, you can't just say, "Look, you know, Mucker, that's a horrible." Like I said, that's a horrible excuse to me. Whether it's 1-17, it doesn't matter. You prepare yourself every night. You look for. Especially, like I said, a contender. You want to knock off the best, and like I said, now they're going to go against the Pelicans Monday night. So
they're going to smoke. They're going to smoke on Monday night.
You need to bring your adjustments, and now
Whether no way CJ does that 2 times.
Let me ask you a question though. Like this whole it's just 1 out of 82 mentality. Was it always there? Because I don't remember it being.
No, it was never. You go back a few years, it wasn't. You know, it's just 1 of 82. Like you were hoping to win like 15 of 82.
What do you think that is?
And even if it is, it's just
New generation.
It's more. I feel like for me
Is that what it
personally, it's
I
more.
think so.
It's more shocking to have the coaches be like, "Yeah, we were kind of expecting to lose this one." Like, what, bro?
No, you can't.
Dangerous way.
Even if you were, listen.
Yeah, you don't
But
say
that's what I'm saying. I know. I agree with you there.
I mean, like, yeah, we were gonna lose. Like, no, bro.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are now gathered by Howie Roseman's assistant over here on the back seat, our man Matty B. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey, what's up, man?
Maddie must not have had nothing to do this Saturday morning. Come all the way down here and join us.
And like I said, listen, we all coached, from little league and high school. I coached from little league to high school, and I'm never going to tell my team that. Listen, going into the team's a much better team, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to sit there and tell a team like, they're better than you. We expect to lose this here or there. You're not going to win them all. Yeah, you're not going to win them all, but you're not going to, you still go out there and you put up the best lineup. You make them put out the best effort. Like for what these guys are banking.
Yeah, like
ridiculous.
Here's the thing though. A loss, like to me, this is just Gus, myself. A loss is never
Gus on an
acceptable.
island.
Gus is Gus on an island. A loss is never acceptable. Can you deal with it? Of course.
Sure.
Is it going to happen? Of course,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
Nobody's going
And loss-
82-0.
A loss should never be acceptable.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
but last night's game though, I mean, if they showed no effort, I could agree, but I thought they showed effort. New Orleans is just a good team, and like
Yeah.
you said, CJ McCollum went off. You know what I mean?
It's-
So
That's
Yeah, they're good
that's my
defense.
point.
It's the brushing it off, like.
Well,
you know,
CJ's going to
yeah,
get his
that's it.
42.
I
There's nothing we
understand.
can do about it.
No,
Like, that's
I
my
like
mentality.
CJ's like
I
a
get what you guys are
37
saying though, but it's but by the same token though, I guess it goes into the 82 game argument. Like they have to play again tonight, so it's like you can't beat yourself up and
No,
be
no,
like,
I'm
"Oh shit, we lost." You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm just saying it wrong. I'm not saying you need to beat yourself up. I'm saying that you should have the mentality of a loss is never. Do you think Kobe Bryant ever thought that a loss was?
Oh no, I agree with you. I mean,
Hell
I
no.
wouldn't like to lose at all.
Hell no, but it's dangerous to view the game today that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're just giving yourself an out, and then you're not going to get better.
And
You're not
listen,
gonna adjust.
and
No, I agree with you.
I forget who was the former Sixers coach. He had a famous line that said, "He goes, I'm not coaching, 10 players. I'm coaching 10 companies because these guys are making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
They're superstars. They're getting their ad money too on top of the money they're getting from the NBA, all that stuff. So I get it. Like, there has to be a mentality." To a point where you have to let them feel like they can brush it off and not wear that loss to the next game. Like, but it's like anything in sports. It's short term. You're supposed to wear it and wear that heavy chain around your neck. But the next day you take the heavy chain off, you put it up, you look at it, you remember, you put it up on the hook and you look at it like, I don't want to wear that goddamn chain again. Like, that's it.
Remember Jake Taylor from Major League? He's like, we got 161 more of these boys. You know what I mean? Remember that guy? The kid was all upset.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man.
I just feel like saying that it was an expected loss is a very incendiary comment, and it's not as a head coach. That is not something that you say, and I feel like that's the worst part about the whole situation.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't say that.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You got to, like I said, you can't be telling, especially a blue collar town like this, who eats and breathes Philadelphia sports every day. This is a scheduled loss. Nobody wants to hear that.
But I can tell you that if we do get an early exit in the playoffs, it's not going to be because of Joel. It's going to be because of Glenn.
Without a doubt.
So yeah,
Totally proves me wrong. He'll break his face for the third time. He's going to go for the hat trick this year.
Wrong. He's leading
He's
the
going
league in points.
I don't care.
MVP.
Listen, he can win. He can win MVP.
Listen, that's where I agree with Mike.
He's going to break his face for the third
It's all
time.
about his health
Hat trick.
and how he
Calling it.
and how he continues.
Yeah.
Like what we see from Ken, that does play a factor into it.
Well,
I mean, even though his health issues are really, they're not like, oh, my hamstring's acting up again.
Okay,
I broke my face again.
How do you work towards not getting an elbow to the face?
You can't
know what I'm
help that.
saying? You
got to your role.
You got to bob when you should have
You
weaved.
can't plan to not get hurt.
Listen, I'm not planning for him not to get hurt. All I'm saying is
It's not like
I'm
Mike,
calling it. Yeah, listen, if there's a prop bet to place, please place this prop bet that Embiid will break his face for the third time.
Mike,
It'll be on
listen,
FanDuel.
it's not like
This DraftKings.
it's not like he's running down the court and then rolling his ankle every time because he's so big. Like somebody elbowed him in the face.
Yeah, it's shocker. He was underneath the net. That boy spends more time in the 3-point line than Harden does.
What you saying, the blue tat? So
Yeah,
listen.
trifecta.
To Mike's point here, what do you guys think about? Will James Harden step up? What's he going to be like in postseason?
Better question is Tobias Harris going to step up?
Tobias Harris ain't going to be here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a trade piece.
Hold on.
I'm surprised we're talking about trading Joel or Harden. No one's saying anything about moving Tobias.
Whoa. First part. Tobias Harris, every time a trade
I don't care if we get next to nothing for him. He's hired of him.
He's the JVR.
But here's the thing is,
Sixers.
in the last couple weeks, up until recently, Tobias Harris is one of our best players on the
Yeah,
team.
he's been playing really good basketball.
He always gets
I'm not blaming Tobias Harris
anymore.
anymore.
Other dudes come back. Like he needs to be able to keep that up consistently when the other guys are on the floor, so we can see success.
I'm not. You know what? I will say this: Tobias Harris. He's the only guy who showed up in the playoffs for the Sixers.
Yeah, here's my thing: is I'm every time this team struggles, the first thing
He gets killed.
we need to trade Tobias Harris
because he's making
else.
because
He's making a lot.
He's
It's his
supposedly
contract.
our third guy, and
Well,
Is he?
The only time he shines is when the other two guys ain't there.
Is he a third guy though?
I mean, he's considered it. Yeah,
He's probably fourth or fifth.
When we first
maybe
brought,
one over
brought
PJ
him in, it was
Tucker.
like we got Ben, we got Joel, and we got Tobias.
Yeah, Max.
Well,
and during all those times,
he was supposed to be that tertiary guy as like an option.
But what was his role? Tell me what you think his role was.
His role was he was a shooter.
No. What was his role told to him? Not what you think it should be.
He
literally just became a catch and shoot guy.
Because at the time, Ben didn't shoot. They were like, "You shoot." Then we got Harden, and now he's kind of his role's kind of been diminished because Harden shoots and because Maxi's a good shooter.
Well, listen, here's the difference. Look at. Let's talk about that for a second. Harden, he is leading in assists by far. Like he even had 10 assists this last game. So he's finally dishing out. And then what happened? Tobias Harris has become a catch and shoot kind of guy. I mean, he's made some awkward shots that have landed and won games and stuff like that for us. So I don't blame Tobias Harris anymore. It's the game plan and the execution of said game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming him. I just feel like it's time to move on.
No,
it depends on what you're going to get from him. What are you going to get from him?
Probably.
I don't mind having a Tobias Harris in this team if you know how to use him. Again, that falls back. Glenn
ain't using him right.
Where we go,
Glenn
always goes back to Glenn.
It definitely goes back to coaching now. I've just always been on this train of like I want to see Tobias Harris do really well with the other big name players on the floor.
I rarely blame the coach, but I'm at that point.
Yeah,
now.
and it's just
we're kind of running out of options.
It's such a bummer because Harris can be a very good player, and I want to see him do that when both Harden and Embiid are on the floor. When they're there, his role completely diminishes.
Guys, there's only one basketball. Like you can't have Harden doing his thing, Joel doing his thing, Maxey doing his thing, and then Tobias Harris.
He's really.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely steps up, but like it's just once those guys come back, he just steps back again.
It's the X's and O's that kill me. That's really what kills me, Sully. Like that, I don't know. Like drawing up a game, end of the game play. We've seen it since when Jimmy Butler was here. We saw it before then. Like this team, like they draw up these plays. My head scratches. Like I'm like, who drew up? I feel like a grade school basketball coach could have drawn up a better play than sometimes than Doc Rivers.
He can draw up a last second play, and we've seen it multiple times.
This is where I think me and you agree about Glenn. Yeah. Like me and you agree about Glenn as much as like Matty B agrees about Howie. Like we don't.
But it's true. Like when is the last time that you've actually seen a play? and with Jimmy was a little bit easier because give Jimmy the ball. Like that's all
he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted the ball.
Nobody wanted it at the time.
Right now, you throw a play, and who does the ball go to?
Who do you need if you need a clutch shot to win the game?
Does the ball go to? Do you give it to Harden? I'm not 100% on Harden for that.
Yeah.
You throw a play for him every single ball, like every single time that Embiid has taken the last shot, it's been a broken up play.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yep.
And it's always, like Mike says, outside of the paint.
Right? Well, listen,
and it's crazy to think the only reason that like everyone's like, oh, Doc actually had some good like. Success running last second plays. It was because he had Ray Allen.
Yeah, well, listen,
that was the reason.
Well, listen, guys, we could sit here and master debate about this all day long. I could do that, but let's get into.
Yes,
pretty sure. Yeah.
Real quick, Mike, you want to tell them about Sherry's tickets?
Yeah, guys, listen. If you're looking for tickets for any major event, sports, concerts, theater, go over to Sherry's Tickets. Type in, whatever it is, whatever the price is that you're going to see there. That's what it is. If you save an additional 10% with the promo code EOP10. So definitely get over there, man. Like I'm pretty sure there'll be tickets available for next week's Eagles Giants preseason game.
You can get them for tomorrow.
Yeah, you can get them for tomorrow. If you want to go down there and fight that traffic between that and the Mummers Parade tomorrow, yeah, most definitely they'll probably have tickets for that Saints game tomorrow.
I'll tell you right now, I went Christmas shopping at Sherry's Tickets and I saved a buttload of money and made a lot of good people happy.
There you go.
Oh, nice. That's my.
Hold on there, Mike.
Yeah, this
Mike. Your mic's Mike.
Yeah,
Mike.
How about now?
Stop grabbing that thing.
Yeah,
I'm electrifying.
Hey guys, listen, man. Hit up my man David Archer for working compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. Hit him up at 610-565-0300. Guys, he's a great guy to get a hold of. So, guys, hit him up today. If you guys are going through any of those topics, please hit him up today.
And don't forget, the place to hang out in Delco for any Eagles game or any time at all is Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. Great memorabilia, delicious food. Because for those who don't know, PJ actually teaches the culinary art. So he's not like just some bar owner who knows to slap a good cheesesteak together.
I will be there this evening.
Yes. Great drink specials. I actually got myself a Jason Kelsey rookie card when I was there hanging out last time, and Devontae Smith rookie card while I was hanging out there. And you know what? Had a great time. Great place to watch the game. You never knew who's going to stop by. I think last time I was hanging out with Hollis Thomas, just pointed out there. But guys, check out Dolan's.
Just looking at a wing cheesesteak, that looks pretty banging. That might make me come down here just to try that joint.
Dude, it's banging.
My next graphic will have what they call the Big D. Calm down.
See right there.
Pat gets that all the time.
Yeah.
Look, he's got the meat sweats going already.
But with that being said, is every day, every so often he puts out a new steak, and it's different but amazing.
Yeah,
and listen, an $8-9 cheesesteak nowadays, that's like that's a bargain.
That's like a sore pecker, man.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
Oh my God.
But Pat will try anyway.
Oh my gosh! But listen,
This is gonna be
I gotta give some love. Actually, believe it or not, our boys went on the West Coast and got themselves.
Dude, they played the Sharks. Settle down.
Doesn't matter.
They played the Sharks. Settle down. I think that if there's probably a worse team in the NHL, it's probably the San Jose Sharks. Pump the brakes on that.
Maybe they want Justin Braun.
Please, keep him.
But Mike,
dude, he's the only guy that if there's one thing I've been saying for 2 years is to get rid of Justin Braun. He's slow. Like how this guy takes 40 seconds to get to a corner and he plays defense. He is bad, dude. So bad.
Well, before I get into any hockey conversation, our man Matty P does a great job. Does clear the ice, catch him every post-game Flyer show.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Does a great job. I don't know how his hair's not gray by now covering this team.
Because he's smart. He knows hockey. He knows this team was going to suck before it started. So, I mean, when you know it going in, it's easy. It makes the job easier.
It's not like Pat when he comes in crying every.
Yes, I'm a very emotional man.
When you say they won, I'm like, shit, man, really? All that does is make me draft pick.
So, but Mike, how about this? They got it done without no Carter Hart. But the Tobias Hartl, I mean. He's all over. He's wide open. They're the defense. Provy's not doing his job.
Are you shocked about this?
Yeah, and also,
dude, I love you, but you come in every week. Every week we go over these Flyers games, right?
Yes.
And for me, I look at the schedule and I'm going loss. So they get lucky, they win one. Pat comes in and he shines right on that one that they win, and he goes, "But by the way, they look bad doing this, and even in the win, they look bad.
My X's and O's. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not looking at X's and O's, dude. Like
they had to win in OT against a team that's 11, 19, and 7.
Yes,
12, 17, and 7. Like
yes, they're just as bad. Like I said, if there's probably two other worse teams, probably Montreal.
So let me ask you.
I don't know. We're pretty close.
No. I mean, in our group, like the We Suck group, it's San Jose, the Flyers, and like Montreal.
Well, do you take signs of John Tortorella makes a post press conference saying how Konecny's actually stepping up. He's a reactor. He's doing. Do you take him as a leadership role now? At this point?
No.
Who, TK?
No.
Let me ask you, Austin.
Increase his value. God,
that's why.
Like Matt just said, it's more just increasing his value for if they move him at the deadline. Honestly.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn
your mic and point it at you, bro.
There it is.
Not a cob of corn. It's a penis. Yeah.
But anyway,
you should have started with that.
Yeah, but anyway,
I didn't want to swallow my microphone. Take the microphone.
Travis Konecny put up 2 goals. I mean, the guy.
Dude, he's trade bait, bro. He's trade bait.
I don't think you trade him. I don't want.
Bye. See ya.
I don't want to trade him.
Sayonara. Goodbye.
For what?
What
do you have?
Goodbye.
That
A team that sucks. Get him out of here. Get some.
That trade.
You know what you get? You get solace in knowing that TK is probably going to go to a contender.
Do like every other Flyers fan does. When they leave out of here, root for them to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, root for them to go win a cup somewhere else. That's what
I can't do that.
I can. Bye. See you, Travis. It's been real.
maybe the cup could wind up in Sea Isle again.
Yeah.
Dude, that was funny. I was actually down there when Richardson, Carter, when they were down there parading with that. That was freaking hysterical. Them dudes were nuts.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I can't.
Pat, the best look is just suck for Bedard, dude.
No.
Not you, not Bedard. Bedard.
And listen,
That's
there's
all you're
nothing
hoping
wrong
for.
with sucking for Bernard.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
Well, listen, I mean,
You should see his new cologne line. It's called "Sucking" by Bernard.
So, I mean, what do you take? I mean, Carhartt's not there. The team, like I said, kicked off the West Coast with a dub. I mean, does that build some kind of momentum?
No.
No.
Pat,
I'll say it. I'll say it in Spanish.
You gotta understand. Your wife is Hispanic, right?
Yes.
I can tell. You got to understand that this team, it's tough to build momentum when you're a bad team.
Yeah.
Like they're just bad parts everywhere.
You
dude.
can win one, but
Well,
you don't build momentum. You have a night where you win the game.
Yeah, Pat. Like this is what you need to look forward to.
Garbage.
This was a scheduled win.
Yeah, this is a scheduled win for the Flyers.
Yeah.
Like this is what you need to look for like the rest of the games with the Flyers, like the rest of the year. It's loss,
Yeah, like
win. Loss, win.
You can hope this team starts to heat up, but if a pile of trash heats up, it's just going to stink up the room, dog.
Yeah, like they're just bad. They're just a bad.
Well, no, they again.
Would you be happy this team won got into the playoffs?
What I would be surprised.
Oh my God, he would
The
streak
world
down
would
Broad
come
Street.
to an end if the Flyers made the playoffs.
I
He
can
was
only,
streaking down
and I know it sounds terrible to think like this, but I think that only hurts us.
It does.
Yeah,
It only hurts.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
no
absolutely.
winning.
If
This,
the Flyers
if
make
this,
the playoffs,
listen,
it's sign of the
I-
apocalypse.
I'll tell you right now, I'll empty out my kids' college fund for you if they go win the cup. All right, it's all yours. You deserve it. You
No.
deserve it for the way you wore it on your sleeves. But it's
No.
just Pat, it's like the 12-step program for Flyers fans. Step one is admitting that you have a problem.
What do you expect?
Yeah, but see-
What do you expect from this team?
Look, it's evaluation year. It's evaluation. You want
No, dude, you.
No,
Your
What
expectations.
do you expect from this team?
Oh, not much. I've said this at all.
Not much,
No.
dude. I've never seen somebody overreact as much as you do for someone who does not care. I don't care. Like you talk to me about.
You're crying, bro.
I'm like, all right, whatever. They lost. What do you think they should do?
No, because
Trade people.
again, Mike, I'm going to go back down this avenue.
They did use the term aggressive retooling.
No, I'm going to go back down.
The only tooling that's happening is Fletcher just ruining this team.
Fletcher's going to be going. I think he's going. He's out of
Should
here.
have been already.
2 years too
Thank
late,
you.
man.
Thank you.
Look at what he did in Minnesota. I mean, sure, they're a perennial playoff team now, but that team.
Dude,
had
he
to get
butchered that team
worse.
too.
The team had to get worse under Fletcher before they got better, and they had to get rid of Fletcher before they got better.
Fletcher's that dude that just comes in and takes the heat. Like,
He's the fall guy,
yeah,
and I'm
he's the whipping boy. He's the whipping general manager.
Here's the thing with that though. Like you're looking at it season long. He likes to look at games
Game by game, and you
game.
can't do that.
And
Not over an 82 games.
Not with this team. Not with this team.
who do they got next?
Yeah, but the Kings, they got
the Kings today, 4:00. They're like they're gonna get rolled.
Yeah.
They're gonna get rolled.
walked.
Watch them win.
Well, the Kings might, it's New Year's Eve. They might want to get out and
Party.
party.
Well,
up.
dude, listen, it's gonna be like a 1:00
If they-
game out there, so they
Yeah.
got plenty of time to get drunk afterwards.
If the Flyers win, I will go live on the Dev Row Sports Facebook page and apologize to Pat for talking trash about this team right now.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not.
Shame, I won't. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, like I said,
pitchers and catchers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But no, getting back to that, Pat. Like
halfway point.
I look at it like this, man. At this point with the Flyers, you know what they are. They got to get rid of guys. They got to get rid of TK. Okay, you got to throw Provorov in there too. Get rid of his ass.
you ain't gonna get another one.
How do you know? Stop with that. Stop it.
He sucks.
Stop
He's
it.
a horrible defenseman.
Who, Provorov?
Yeah.
He clearly don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, obviously.
Play his
Honestly,
position.
I think Roby at the moment is just
Dude, he needs a fresh face. He needs a
He
fresh start.
cannot play his position.
I think he's a
I don't-
product of
Yeah,
where
I don't.
he
I don't
is.
think he's cooked, but he definitely don't want to be
He,
here.
you could just tell, like he spent his
I
time.
think
He,
Kevin Hayes gets traded.
good.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he's going.
Yeah.
With scratching him
Yeah.
recently,
Send-
he's gone.
Yeah.
Send him overseas.
Which
He stinks.
surprisingly, it was the
Is
same
there-
thing.
Fourth
It was the same thing
liner
that
at
happened
best.
with Hayes when Torts was in New York with the Rangers.
So, Mike,
He
let me
fell out of
ask you,
favor.
Is there
started
anybody
getting
that's
scratched?
untouchable right now?
No, there is nobody on the. There is
Not even
nobody.
ready.
No, not even Greg Gritty can get traded too.
Maybe
Same-
Carter Hart, but I doubt it.
Same question. Anybody that's to you? Anybody that's untouchable?
TK. TK
The
right
hot
now.
He's
dog guy.
untouchable.
Oh my God!
Excuse
See,
me,
I'll
Pat?
drive. Can I
Pat?
volunteer to drive any of these assholes to
Listen,
Montreal or wherever the hell they gotta go.
It's all
You
about
said-
the
you said-
haul. I
This
always
team
say
sucks,
it's
dude.
all about the haul.
TK's untouchable. Like you would have
No.
put him up on the block.
He's saying
Anyone else?
TK's untouchable,
He's the
bro.
first one I'm putting on the
Bro,
block.
Are you
the door's
serious?
right over there.
I am.
Are
He's
you
the
serious?
first one I'm putting on the block.
Oh yeah.
I'm putting him on the block. I'm putting Hayes on the block. I'm putting. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. I
He
get
had
that.
to
but-
return
Like,
because
he's
listen, TK. Here's the thing: is forget Carter Hart, forget TK, forget all of them for a second. All right, just think about this: this Flyers organization, and we got Matty B here. He could chime in too. How far away is this team from being anywhere of a playoff contender?
Oh, they're light years. They're
4. I'll say 4
I was going to say
5.
3.
Yeah.
I'll
I was
say,
gonna say
I'll
3.
say, I'll say
4 or 5.
4 to 5.
I said 3.
Okay.
I think with the way free agency is in the NHL, they can do that. But they got to get out of these big. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and
they're about as far away
So-
as suspend
so-
not fixing the pothole. That's how far away they are.
you have a 20.
Shut up, Gus.
So by that time, you have a 29 or 30-year-old Travis Konecny. The only one who will be in the young category, I guess you would put it still,
Carter Hart.
would be Carter Hart. So I can say
and Morgan Frost and
Morgan Frost, but
Farabee.
like I said, it's all you pick up every call you get. Even like I said, even if they
Dude,
want the hot dog guy is walking
Absolutely.
around.
No,
selling
listen.
hot
What about
dogs.
Couturier? I think Couturier gets moved in the offseason. Nah, you don't think so?
No.
Not with his injuries. He
he's-
has to prove he's healthy before they could do anything.
Yeah, and
2 years
So
ago.
you think maybe next season
Yeah,
they'll move
because-
over?
And also the thing-
Couturier can build his value.
Yeah, and
if
also
he
the thing
stays healthy.
with the money that we just committed to Atkinson too, with him possibly having a career-ending injury too.
Well,
on top of
yeah,
that.
but you know what though? That
him,
can,
him and Ellis both.
yeah, well, they can actually, believe it or not, with the NHL, they can actually, with them being injured
Yeah, they can,
like that, they can get
sort of supplement some
yeah,
of
they
that
can
back,
supplement some of that money back. But like JVR's contract, that second contract was asinine. Like when they signed him to that deal, and that,
7
like,
per.
listen, you know it was bad when an expansion team who had the chance to take him
Said no.
said no, we want the other.
Listen, I got a JVR jersey from 2009. You know what I mean? Like, I love JVR.
And he
Like,
was just okay then.
I mean, I like JVR.
Dude, you
back
know who
then.
I miss? Believe it or not, and that, it always taps my ass when I watch a Blues
Oh.
game is Braden Shen. I miss Braden Shen. Like,
Yeah,
this
bro.
dude he has become a great hockey player.
Yes.
And
And
here's
we had him.
And here's the thing: is you unload all your big contracts as best as you can, get the best haul for whatever you can get. Because next year you're not making any guys. Just get ready for the offseason because there'll be no big signing. Because the only way you're going to bring in anybody with any sort of talent that you're going to be worth watching is it's going to get paid out the nose.
Dude, Jogger's still playing. Like, I would bring him
I
back.
will.
Dude,
He owns
listen,
a team in the Czech or something,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
I would bring him back. Like, he
plays on
can
that
still
team.
play.
He plays
Better
on
than
that
any
team
other
still,
these
too.
stiffs. But like again, Mike, I'm with you. Like we look at this team, you know, and Fletcher does make a lot of moves in the offseason. What we thought was going to be an upshining, and it just turns out nothing pans out his way. There's a bunch of injuries. The Ryan Ellis, forget we'll never.
Dude, Ryan Ellis came back. And, like,
Yeah,
come on, the list
we
goes
got a
on.
solid 4 games out of Ryan Ellis.
Oh yeah, dude, that was the best ever. Like, I want to do a goodbye video to him. Like when he finally leaves. Like, you know, we.
Goodbye. Was there enough? Is there enough?
It's just
Highlight reel?
it says
Is there enough highlight reel?
I'm gonna do a highlight reel. It should be all 30 seconds, so it'd be really good. You know what I mean?
You know what?
It's him going on the ice, him coming off the
Yes.
ice,
Yeah, exactly.
on a stretcher.
Damn, Al.
Ryan
What
Ellis
idea.
is the Flyers version of
Of
Jeff
Jeff-
Ruland.
Yes.
I was going to say, what's
Or
the
Andrew
Bynum?
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but he did play 4 games though. Woo.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Bynum didn't play a
If
game.
you get Bynum's highlight reel, it'll be him bowling.
Yeah.
And then Doug Collins saying pray
I was
for him.
I was so angry when I heard that story. I remember like it was yesterday.
So
Listen, let's get into.
let's get it. Can we get into the real team?
Yeah, fine. We'll talk about some birds. You want to talk about birds?
Yeah,
real
this is your best. Anything with birds, man, gets him going.
Yes, we are excited.
Yeah,
Well, let's talk some.
the
Eagles,
table's
Mike.
starting to shift.
Well, listen, I got a beef to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Better with
Now
beef than your nose, but go ahead.
So last week you come out here, you say I don't know nothing about football.
Mhm.
I'm crazy.
Oh,
I
here we
bump my
go.
head.
Here we go.
And didn't I tell you
Uh-oh.
that the Eagles were gonna and the Cowboys were gonna run up the
Stop,
belly?
stop, stop.
Didn't I tell
They
you
run up the belly?
that,
No, they
that
did not.
CeeDee Lamb was gonna burn them? Did I not say that?
Your exact words.
Well,
They were going to run up the belly.
Yeah.
They held Dallas to
No.
2.2 yards a carry.
CeeDee Lamb made.
Oh, stop! Pump your brakes on that one, dude. He didn't start doing nothing. He didn't do nothing until. Stop! Pump your
You
brakes.
said they were your exact words, and I have the film. I'll go.
Yes, whip it out.
They're going to slaughter the Eagles.
Yes.
They were going to
40
slaughter.
points.
Bro, Gardner Minshew threw 350 on them.
Yeah, like
I got that. I understand
They
that.
didn't slaughter anybody.
Oh, stop! You're over here trying to pump that chicken chest of yours. Absolutely not. No,
They
I'm
lost.
not doing that.
They lost because we lost because we turned the ball over.
We gave up.
yeah,
They scored 40 points.
Turning the ball over 40.
Right. They scored 40 points in that game. 20 points came off of those 4 turnovers. So take away those 4 turnovers, and they scored 20 points on that defense. And that's with Josiah Scott playing the nickel, not Avonte Maddox, who got hurt.
Which did not have the best game ever. But I can't say the
Well,
CeeDee Lamb did eat, but it wasn't.
Dude,
it
Dak was
wasn't
unreal.
orange.
You got to tip your cap to Dak.
I was about to go there.
Listen, I will say this. After throwing that.
Was Dak unreal, or was the defensive play calling a little?
I blame it more on the
listen,
defense.
when they played man, Dak.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
When they were in man coverage, Dak was 3 for 9. But
Look at Matty Beans over here to hit some sense into you. There.
okay, and you got
Baseball's a team sport.
Yeah, right.
yeah, that means we all get a turn. Whack and pat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just got excited when you said that.
I know, right? Whack and pat.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you can crack me open like a pinata.
Yeah.
But in no way, shape, or form did the Cowboys slaughter the Eagles at
No.
all.
No,
Look, that was my bold prediction. It didn't fall through, but 40 points.
you're looking at 40
Yeah,
points,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you had
looking at
4
the score.
turnovers inside their own 45.
that he made you pay for.
Don't just look at the score. Look at
Dude,
the
anybody can score when you're turning the ball over on your half of the field.
Yeah, Pat, show me an NFL game where a team actually wins after turning the ball over 4 times,
Right.
and I'll eat my shoes. You know why you're
Doesn't
surprised?
happen
Because
very
you can't-
often.
Yeah, it hardly ever happens.
So, I mean, you got to tip your cap. I mean, Dak did play. After he threw that pick 6, he was money.
He locked
But
down.
he was money on a zone. Those zone defenses was horrible.
Yeah, that
They were horrible. But you got to give Dak credit. Dak was 24 for 24 for over 300 yards.
Listen, you take away, like, put it this way: they were up 10 fairly quickly.
Twice. They were up 10 by
That game had it was almost like if you took the Washington loss, the 2 losses that they have, you put them over, they're almost exactly
Got a narrative.
of each other.
Yeah.
Okay. You had too many turnovers that we caused. Let's talk about this. Quez Watkins. If you're not going to go get the ball, fight the ball out of the guy's hand.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
if you're not going to catch it, defend it.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say this. I only thought of 2 plays. And I will say this. I like the fact that the refs let him play.
Yeah.
But if you look at that first interception, Kurtz was on his back. I mean, literally on his back. But like I said, they're letting him play. The only real play that I thought should have been flagged was a Devontae Smith in the end zone. Because that, you go back and watch that play, and I know we talked about it with our 215 boys counterparts. When he was going up for the ball, that ball, the defender's making contact, and the ball is behind him. The ball is behind him when he's making contact with Devontae. That should have been hands down. So I guess Jerry's check cleared
Yeah.
for that because like that was blatantly obvious that didn't get called. I don't want to hear about holding because just as much as Micah was getting held in that game, so was Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick was abusing the guy that their best
I know you mean.
was
Yeah.
Tyron Smith. He was abusing him all game long. And here's the thing that I'm going to bring up to you. The Eagles defense actually got the Dak. They sacked him 6 times.
Yeah. 6 times. Yeah. The fact is, it's the giveaway takeaway is if you
4-1.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's where that game was lost.
And like I said, that game did we lose? I hate to say this because I know every Cowboys fan out there is going to go, oh, typical Eagles fan. But did we lose or did we let them have it at
Was
one
it
point?
was it
'Cause-
them or was it the
Well,
system?
you got to think about it this way. Though. We win against arguably just the best that the Cowboys have. We didn't have our best.
Yeah.
And we were still.
But
in
you
the
can
game.
also say that too. But we can't really say that because when they were here, they didn't have their starting quarterback. So
Yeah,
you-
yeah,
you ca- that's kind of a
but we
wash.
actually,
Here's my
but
thing
we
is-
actually beat the hell out of them, and that's what we're supposed to do when you have your backup quarterback. They didn't beat the hell out of us.
They
This is their best.
changed the man coverage when we lost Avante Max. That's a big loss.
Yes, and that's where the momentum in that game, because Avante was making plays in that game.
He really
Yeah.
was.
He really was. And again, Lane gets hurt again in that game. Like, I feel like every time we play an Eagles Dallas game, Johnson's getting hurt. Like, you go back and take a look, he really does get banged. He does get banged up against the
The
Cowboys.
last time he got hurt was.
But I will say this, and I say this to Paul and Big Matt and Dave when they're on their show. The best thing I love about playing Cowboys is that when Lane Johnson starts, DeMarco, what's his name? DeMarco Lawrence.
Yeah.
He disappears. That dude is the biggest. Oh my! He is the biggest fraud when it comes to playing against the Eagles. He talks the most.
Even when he went out the last.
Yeah, even Driscoll shut him down this time. Like, Driscoll was having his way with him.
And Micah, like they both were.
Dude,
kind of
Micah was sucking wind at the end of that game.
They should have got that playoff. I always said if they got that playoff,
I think they would have scored
because they would have had more time to get another playoff, and they would have scored. He had to beg their sideline. They allowed that to happen. They had to beg their sideline. I would have called the quickest, easiest halfback dive, play.
Dude, Devontae was wide open on that last play too. Like I know he kind of got rattled and threw the ball, but I chalk it up like, Minshew hasn't played in a year. So think about it. He sat on the bench for a year and he comes out and dropped and dude, I'm sorry, but some of those throws he made look. And people forget too. He missed a wide open Quez in the first quarter. That would have been 17-0 Eagles.
Easily.
Yeah.
He was wide. I mean, he hits Quez. Quez is walking in. There was no Cowboys behind him. So, to me, like I said, the Eagles left a lot of plays on the field, but you do have to tip your cap to the Cowboys. I mean, Dak had a great game. He did.
Yeah.
But in essence, this is where I have my problem with Jonathan Gannon. And I know defense, played defense. When your zones start getting attacked, you move the man to man.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. If CeeDee Lamb's eating you up, then you stick Josiah Scott or Noah Brown. Make Noah Brown their third best receiver. You make him beat you. Okay? And you give him safety help. You stick Darius Slade. That's your big dog. Your big dog's supposed to go with him. You put Gallup or you put Bradbury on Gallup. They never did that. Or when they did do that, Dak was 3 for 9. So that tells me right there, they just sat back. They're just like, man, I'm just going to play zone. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Third and 30 told me that Josiah Scott didn't know his
responsibility to assemble the roster.
He did assemble it.
That's great.
That's injuries, bro. You can't do nothing about that.
Oh, really, Mike? You can't do anything about injuries.
Yeah.
Oh, really? We go back to Joel Embiid.
No, he's going to break his face for the third time. Hat trick. I'm playing a place. I'm going to try to put it. I'm going to request like DraftKings to put that up there for the playoffs.
Actually, I got an autograph of his original Phantom of the Opera mask for you to hang in your.
Dude, give it to me. I swear to God, I will put it up there.
Well, look, the Saints are going to come into South Philly. They're.
Do you really think the Saints got a chance to beat them?
Can I finish over here?
No.
Jeez.
Because you're going to read off this long list.
Well, because I actually do my
only
notes.
going to
you know what I'm
get
saying?
better.
So look,
Go ahead, Duke. I'm sorry.
The Eagles are 10-4 at home against the Saints. They got the fifth best, offensive defenses, red zone defense. Is there a problem? What if Minshew starts?
So
Yes.
Who is starting?
Minshew, at this point, he was.
I didn't.
Jalen was marked doubtful as of yesterday.
Okay.
Also,
even
Pat,
though he's dropping dimes.
Also, Pat, it's
Yeah.
the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Well, hey, let me just say this, Mike.
Wait a minute, though. The Saints have a pretty. I mean, I think people are going to win, but the Saints have a pretty good
The
defense.
Saints do have a decent defense, but like offensively, they don't.
That
have a
NFC
lot.
South is still somewhat open. So
That's a terrible division. Terrible.
yeah, I
division.
know. But it gives them some kind of motivation.
I get what you're saying, but let me just tell you, they won last week, right? They won against the Browns. Okay, a really bad team.
Mhm.
Let's be honest.
And that was a really bad game.
It's like, oh my God, you couldn't pay me to watch that whole game. No,
No, that was
I had a guy
That
in
was almost
fantasy
early
football. I
season
just kept
Thursday night
checking in.
football,
It was bad. Well, let me put it this way: they won 17-10, right,
Mhm.
against a really bad team. Okay, a team that they could have racked up the points on. Is how bad that Browns team is. Andy Dalton was 8 for 15. Okay. He had one interception. He threw for 92 yards against the Browns defense, who is good, middle of the road, mediocre, 15 out of 32, somewhere around that. Nothing crazy. Alvin Kamara is a shell of what he used to be.
Yeah, I agreed.
And we're stopping the run fine as of this point.
The only true bright spot on their offense is Chris Olave.
Yeah, well, Olave,
which
but
is not 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, the only
questionable.
He's questionable. He didn't even play last week.
And a hamstring too. It's not.
Their big receiver right now is Rashid Shaheed. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. And he was four receptions for 41 yards. I mean, my point to this is now that's one game compared to another. You can only take the stats and use them for what they are. This team will win. I am not.
I agree with you.
This will be the biggest. One thing from this season we haven't had many losses to complain about.
Right.
And the losses we did have so far, we've felt like the Eagles lost, not the team beat us, right? Overall, we didn't feel like, this is the end. We're pissed. We will be pissed, even with Gardner Minshew losing this game.
This is not a game that we lose.
No.
Yeah,
and this team, just like you said, this team's looking for a playoff. We can't go, well, we saw the Giants. The Giants are looking for the playoffs.
Yeah, Giants. Matter of fact, they play Cleveland, and if they beat Cleveland, they clinch.
They clinch. But
so, I mean, if you're
my
Eagles
point
fan,
is you need to win this game. You do not want to come down to a last game of the season, divisional rival, who also could be fighting for their playoff life. No, your foot is on the throat, and you snap their goddamn neck.
It's up to
Look
us.
at Al.
I think the Eagles win. Like I mean, I'm not worried about the game per se.
Handedly.
No, and I agree with you, but we really can't. You were bringing up Dalton's passing numbers from last week, but it was like 2 degrees last week, so it's hard to look at those numbers.
But
you know what I mean? But
double those numbers. Does that make you?
I still think, and the Saints' offensive line, their right tackle is kind of questionable. So I think
and center.
Yeah, so I think the Eagles' defensive line. See, I think the Eagles will win this game by turnovers. I think the Eagles will force 2 to 3 turnovers.
Bold prediction.
What's that over under on sacks for the Eagles?
There was no.
They put up over the last 3 games. They put up 6 sacks per game, and against the Dallas Cowboys, against all these other teams. I'm bold prediction right now. You're one sack for BG away from history.
Right. Yeah.
BG gets his 10th sack, which I think he will.
Yeah, he does.
He'll be the first team to have 4 10-plus sack guys. I think Reddick will continue to eat, and I mean literally be eating flesh on that field.
Yeah, Ruiz is out. They're the young center. He's out. The right tackle's out. So they're going to be pretty beat up coming
I
in
think
here.
Andy Dalton will be turning red. Not just
Jameis Winston will be in this game before.
Yeah,
too long
I think
ago.
they will.
The half?
Not before that.
I don't know about before half, but I think he makes an appearance.
Do they take the Jameis, or do they try and rely on Taysom a bit more? Do you think?
Well, they're going to use him.
They're going to use Taysom, but the Eagles have done a really good job against him. And if you look back,
backing up Kamara, right?
yeah,
now.
if you look right now, the last 2 times the Saints have come here, like it hasn't been pretty. And that was like Jalen's like first win was against the Saints. If you remember that, and last year he just killed them.
Now, I think this team is 12 sacks away from setting the record. I think they get within. I say they get within 4. That's what I'm looking at.
I think I'm looking at it like I think they can get probably what we saw in DC. When we were down in DC,
Yeah.
I think they can get around 9 sacks because of that defensive line. Now, I think honestly, to be honest with you, I think Ian Book actually finishes out the game for the Eagles. I think it's not going to be close. I think Minshew is going to put up his points, and the game's going to be. And Ian Book
is he going to go against this former
Yep,
team?
and I think Ian Book's going to finish out. I really do.
All the Irish people in the Eagles fandom will be super happy.
Yeah,
Joe's over there.
That's the expectation, and that's what we're looking for. And it's exactly why that if we do happen to lose this game, I will be.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, you would have every right to be but I still don't feel like going forward like they're not going to get it because the Giants are going to win their game. They're playing the Colts.
That's what we're saying about us too. We're playing the Saints.
Yeah, but the Colts are. You can just already tell they're.
Are you telling you don't think Jeff Saturday's working out?
No.
There in
Dude, they're trying to recruit Sean Payton to get out there. Sean Payton's going to be. He's going to be the most traveled guy this offseason. But what you don't realize is,
I think he's in Dallas.
Well, if the Cowboys get an early exit again,
Mhm.
I think he goes to Dallas.
I don't think he's going to go to Dallas
I-
because Dallas isn't going to want to give up the compensation to the New Orleans Saints.
No, I think what they're not going to want to do is they're not going to give up the power.
That too.
Yeah.
Do you think
true.
Sean Payton has a sleepover at Jerry Jones's house?
Mm.
Because it's kind of mandatory nowadays. For
Yeah,
all we
but
understand.
it's one of those bad sleepovers he has with
What?
Wow. So Pat, let me ask you.
Well, we only have one sleeping bag, so scoot over there.
Scoot over there.
The plane trains and automobiles.
Yeah, right.
Those aren't pillows.
Those aren't pillows.
So Pat, let me ask you. What are you looking for in this game? Like, what are you looking to see the Eagles do?
I just want to see Minshew not, again, I get it, the mistakes, and I get it, the one was bad. I just want to see, and he played well. I just want to see him, continue to strive. Have him go off, have him get his trade value up, have him, that's
He's a free agent at the end of the year,
but
dude.
still,
So,
I mean,
You talk about Minshew?
yeah.
For what?
yeah, they're not going to trade him. He's a free agent,
No,
dude.
I
Like,
mean,
as soon as
I
this
still-
season ends, he walks. So
Yeah,
we're not
so-
getting nothing for him.
No, but I mean, I still want to see him go off. I still want to see him play well. I still, like I said,
Mike Papert says 31-13.
I think it's gonna be a little
I'll
closer.
tell you, my
I see
prediction
that.
was
I
34-14.
could see that.
And
yeah.
that's me being generous, giving them 14.
Oh, I mean, dude, didn't the Eagles drop 40 on them last year? So, I mean, that's my call right there.
Yeah.
That's my call
That
right
or
there.
That's also
do you think the
that's
Broncos
also
would pay out the nose to get him
No,
there?
I think that's where I think Sean Payton's going to end up. Or if Sean Payton don't end up at the Chargers, watch out for Shane Steichen to go back there at the end of the year.
Good
Yeah, I
point.
can
Shane
see
Steichen,
that.
I can see Shane Steichen going back there because they like him. And if Payton doesn't get that dude, Staley's a lame duck. It doesn't matter. So
What did Paul say?
He said Sean Payton doesn't want the best DC on his staff. Quinn plus Payton is not a puppet, not a match. I guess he's saying for Dallas.
dude, I think Dallas is going to lose him too. I think Quinn's going.
So-
He's going to get a head
Yeah,
coach.
real fast.
Mike, I think this is exactly what's
Yeah,
going to happen. I think they're going to use this game
Mhm.
hopefully to give Miles Sanders a little
So-
little confidence boost.
Let me go around the table. Joe, I'll start with you. What's your final prediction for tomorrow?
I'm kind of right in line with our man Mike. What he said. But just to make it different, I'll say 30-13.
30
Yeah,
13.
I already said mine 34-14.
Gus?
I'm gonna give him more of a score there. I say 31-17.
Austin?
34-7.
34 some Mike?
Wow.
I see them getting one lucky touchdown, and it's being like, well, that was fun for you guys. Time to die.
Wow, easy.
Yikes.
Cover Kai over here. Jeez. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with Paul. I'm gonna be a little closer. I'm gonna give Saints a little bit higher raise there. I'll give them 17. Something like a 28-17 win.
Okay.
That's
I'm going to be a little different than all you guys. I think the Birds getting to the 40s tomorrow.
a 40 bomb.
It can happen.
All right.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because like this Saints team to me is checked out. Dallas Goddard's going to eat tomorrow. Like David Njoku.
They're not
Yeah,
bad
Njoku
against
ate.
the tight ends though.
Matty B, what's your prediction?
38-35 Eagles.
All right.
Well, he kept it close. I was going to say.
And we don't
Wait,
cover.
wait, wait.
Did you say
38-35?
38-35? You're
Josiah
giving-
Scott, Reed Blankenship. All I gotta say.
Whoa. We will fight over Reed Blankenship, dude. Okay? Reed, that kid can play.
Wait, what?
In what league? The one he's in now. Like, what are you watching, dude? That kid, did you see him cover 25 yards and knock the hell out of somebody? That's a kid you want. Josiah Scott, I will agree with you. Of course not, but do you want Anthony Harris starting? Okay, so what do you got to do? Like, you got to go with. Oh, this all leads back to that. All the time.
So let me.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. Everything leads to the yellow brick road.
I think it's Andy Dalton effect. I think Dalton will be seeing the Eagles.
I don't. He ain't gonna have time to throw. If he had his full offensive line,
So,
I would agree.
And
before
with
we
the Saints
before
defense, they may not have Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Losing
before
one
we
of the
roll
best
out of here,
corners.
I got to go around the table. So to review 2022, I want to go for everybody. Give me your play of 2022 from any Philadelphia sport, from the 6 teams, and give me your best Philadelphia athlete for 2022.
The play that stands.
Gus, I'll go with you.
It's going to be Bryce Harper for me.
The one against San Diego.
Yeah, against
Bedlam at the bank.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't honestly. I can't think of another play that comes close to what it meant for the city of Philadelphia. That just did it for me.
And who's your player of the year?
Wow, that's a big play.
No. It's got to be Jalen Hurts. It's got to be Jalen Hurts. And I was very critical of him last year.
You wouldn't know a lot. You and probably most of the people at this table.
Well, yeah, and we all were. But what I wanted to see, I never counted him out. I always thought that he was a good leader and he had it. All he needed to do was get better, which really, as Philadelphia fans, we're not used to seeing. This kid's leap from where he was last year to now is ridiculous.
No, 100%. Nobody saw that.
And
even the biggest Hurts,
and that's
even the
why,
biggest Hurts fan.
And I'll give it to you because you did see that. But again, that was a prediction.
I got called a homer for that take. Not you, but I got called a homer because I said this kid's work ethic, he will get better.
Even Jalen Hurts didn't see this. I'm just saying.
Stevie Wonder did.
What I always said was, I would love this kid to be our quarterback. I just need to see him improve. And he did that from the first snap that he got this year. He was better.
Having AJ Brown helps though.
Well, it does. But
I don't want to hear that. Every good quarterback has a good.
No. Listen, I'm not saying that.
In comparison from last year.
Oh yeah, if you're looking at it, he's dropping them in places last year he couldn't drop them in.
I mean, think of it this way: you have two wide receivers with 1,000+ yards on this team right now,
and we got a third one who can't fight for the ball.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when was the last time the Eagles had that?
Barnett and Williams.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think they've ever had.
I was going to say I don't think they've ever had anything.
That's right. Yeah, Calvin got hurt. They would have had it for Barnett went over 1,000, but Williams got hurt.
Right. Yeah.
So vice versa.
My point is, so you can say having AJ Brown is great, having Devontae Smith is great, but even if your quarterback sucks, they're not getting 1,000 yards a piece.
Exactly.
All right. So
for that reason, Jalen Hurts will be my
100% good reason.
So Joe, to you, player of the year.
Okay.
And your player of the year.
So we all could. I mean, Gus's is probably everybody's, but I'm going to take it. So the Bryce Harper, obviously, but I'm going to take it. I think the game that changed the whole entire mindset of the city and started the run, I'm going to go the 9th inning at St. Louis, the first playoff game. I'm going to go Gene Segura's hit.
Yeah.
Gene Segura's hit, because if we lose that first game, we may not even get out of that first round. You know what I mean? And that comeback.
That changed the way that we
Now, because it was a hit, I'll say Segura, but honestly, it was the at-bat. I believe it was, who the hell was it? I think, you know what? Bryce Harper was struggling. I believe he battled his ass off and worked the walk.
Yeah.
And that started the domino. Yeah, that started the domino.
Bohm got hit by a pitch.
Right, but I'll say Segura. I'll say that hit. And then the best athlete.
Who stepped up to you the biggest?
Well, I mean, I guess it's gotta be Jalen Hurts. I mean, who else? It's gotta be Jalen Hurts, but to make it a different answer, I'll say Maxey, because Maxey took that step in season 2. So I'll say Maxey just to be different.
Yeah.
So I'll go me. I would say for me, it's got to be that. To me, the Reese Hoskins home run, and when he's hit the bat spike, when he hit that home run, you felt that through your TV, man. The city was it was roaring. Like you like I said, it elevated. And like I said, his that to me was the best player of the year. And for me, the player of the year, and I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Alec Bohm. I felt like, to me, Alec Bohm was your most consistent bat this year, even when you lost Bryce Harper. His game was just his at-bats, his defense, all around one of the best players I've seen really step up this year. That's for me. Austin, how about you?
My play, I mean, of course, you can go with the bat spike, the home run, that go-ahead base hit. I'm going to go with JT Realmuto's go-ahead home run, Game 1 of the World Series. Just the whole fact of seeing that team battle back from down 5-0 and cap it off with that go-ahead home run in the 10th. And then player of the year, honestly, as much as I want to go with the tried and true simple answer and just hit it out of the park with Jalen Hurts, I have to go with Andre Blake.
Yeah, yeah.
Two-time goalkeeper of the year. He's only getting better every year, and I see the Philadelphia Union and Andre Blake making another run.
Well, he put that on his Twitter. He said, "Let's run it back." Mike,
my play of the year is actually was the same play. It was done twice, and that was Castellanos' slide and grab in game one.
Oh yeah, nice.
So, we killed Castellanos because his bat didn't come to fruition really till kind of late in the season. But for a guy not known for his defense, making the same play, he did it in the divisional series against Atlanta, then he did it again in the World Series in game one, and then in between that, he caught the last out in the CS. So, and he had some pretty good, decent moments. So for that, like I said, my memory is just him making that sliding. Dude, he really bailed Ranger out in that game. So he bailed Ranger out.
And you know what? I think his bat goes back to.
I think his bat returns big time. I said all year long, you got to give Castellanos a mulligan. He got here late. They had that. Yeah,
He'll make the right adjustment.
Yeah, so
I'm not worried about him.
No, I'm not at all. Believe it or not, I'm gonna go with a Philly, and I'm gonna keep it with the Phillies. I'm gonna go Aaron Nola. I think Aaron Nola is my Philadelphia Athlete of the Year because he answered the bell this year. There was a lot of questions about Aaron Nola, mainly your brother.
Yeah.
Okay. About how bad he was, and I'll tell. Yes, and it's always, as soon as you do, the calendar turns September, he gets cold, and that's it. And he answered the bell.
Yeah,
he answered the bell, and I'll tell you what, those two guys, I love the fact going forward with those. Now you got three, and then getting Taijuan Walker from the Mets.
Oh, that helps huge.
It is because listen, him and Bassett, when their ace that was out most of the year last year. Okay, the dude that got what the hell's his name? The one that got them, DeGrom. When he was on his annual vacation, those guys stepped up.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen a guy get paid more money, and he takes more PT. He got a ton of PTO time that he takes. But yeah, I like where the Phillies are going. But yeah, that's my pick.
He makes DeGrom makes Joel Embiid look like Cal Ripken.
Dude.
I would say, since you guys took all the good ones, but there's one that really does still stand out to me, and I thought, Austin, you were going to steal it for a second, but the In the Parker home run by JT Realmuto against the Braves. I was there.
Oh yeah, see, I was too. Yeah,
I was there. And I'll tell you I was sitting right at the last section, 300, right where it breaks up before you get into the Ashburn Alley, and I watched that ball careen off the corner. The guy had to go after it, and I looked at I was there with my wife. I honked her boobie, and then I looked at her and I said, "This is In the Parker." Both those things actually happened. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, this is going to happen. JT will make this, because as I'm doing that, my other eye's sliding over, and I'm seeing JT round in second. I'm like, this is in the Parker home run by a catcher in the playoffs, and this is happening right now. So that would be my, and at that point is when I turned her and I were walking out of the stadium after we won. And I said, after what I saw today, this team has everything they need if they continue to stay hot, to go and win it all, no matter who they play against in the end. So I would go with that. Now, everybody's picked all the good ones. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I have to say, we're going to vote on it. It has to be the hands down player of the year. But if I'm going to go outside the box a little bit and say, not an athlete, but Tomper, Rob Thompson. He took this team. Let's be honest.
That's not
before
bad.
we walked,
That's not bad.
Before we walked in with Rob, and we had a good stretch. And Matty B, we were together for a lot of for Fighting's finals. The playoffs were barely an option at that point.
Yeah,
nobody was taking playoffs with Gerardi here.
No, and we just thought, oh God, here we go. We signed all these big ticket guys, and we're gonna still look like crap. What's going on? With that being said, the turnaround that Rob Thompson did with this team, and to be able to put this team, squeeze the juice out of every one of these guys after losing a guy like Bryce Harper, after September looking like we could have another September collapse, and like you guys, all the things you guys pointed out about the Phillies coming back in game one and all that stuff, and Nicky Bats with some great defensive plays. We gave Nicky gloves. It's got to start there with Rob Thompson. So there's my a little different one.
You know what? You know what's funny too? We named all these guys, and we didn't even name the guy that led the National League in home run, Schwarber.
Yeah,
You know, it's like kind of ironic when you think about it.
And listen, he was one of the few guys whose offense didn't cool off at the end what we saw against the Astros.
And
Him and Harper stayed tried and true, and that's one thing I also took away. Because if I was going to say Bryce Harper, if I was going to keep him, the other reason is what Bryce Harper proved to me is something that we always worry about as Phillies fans, as any Philly fans. When we bring in that big name, that superstar, they don't live up to the moniker, and they come up small when the time comes. And Bryce Harper did the complete opposite when he had every excuse in the book not to.
Yeah, right. He did. He just performed one of those plays that'll put him. He would talk about
history.
forever.
He's history.
He will talk.
He's
he
in
will
history.
talk about forever in Philadelphia, and that did it.
That was Roy Hobbs. The only thing that was missing was the lights going out. You know,
Yeah.
when you think about it, I mean, it was like the natural. I really couldn't believe it. It's like one of those things where if you wrote it in a movie script, you'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? Nah, it's not happening.
Do I have time for one more question?
Yeah.
To Mike, do you move Schwarber
For who?
from the one?
Oh, I thought you said for her. I think you moved.
Like down in the lineup.
Down a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Yeah.
From leadoff?
Yes.
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Trey Turner's your quintessential leadoff guy. Yeah.
But we also.
I don't think they do.
I like what he does. I'm not saying they do, but I say you do.
If you move Schwarber down,
I'd have
more
to.
RBI.
Matt's over there cringing.
Why not?
You saw what he did.
200 times, batting 210. Trey Turner struck out 100 times, that is 298.
And the
game
home
was a low year for him.
Yeah. Trey Turner's your leadoff guy.
Yeah.
And you capitalize on those 46 home runs to keep in the lineup.
Yes. Thank you.
I already have my lineup in my head, but
Well,
we'll have another day.
We're not even
I
going to
think
see what
we
the lineup is
agree.
gonna look like until Harper comes back anyway.
That's why you need him lower in the lineup because we need some hours.
Even in the meantime, just put
Derek Cole.
Schwarber into that spot.
Listen, I feel like the show could be 2 hours, but look, guys.
Yeah, Pat's got to go.
No, I don't have to go anywhere.
He's got to go to Dolan's Park. That's where he's going to go.
Oh, yes.
24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park. Great place to catch a game or anything at all. DolansPark.com. Check them out. Memorabilia giveaways during the games. $8 cheesesteaks and wing steaks. And so try the Big D. Yeah, Pat, I'm looking at you when I'm saying it.
Pat's tongue's on the table.
Yeah, and great drink specials. You never know who's going to hang out with you there at Dolan's.
And of course, since Pat's tongue's out on the table, if you want to get Pat a nice, after Christmas gift, you can always go to Sherry's Tickets. Make sure you guys go in there. They have everything here from sports, concerts, and theater. No hidden fees. So whatever it says on the website is what you are going to pay. And guys, you can actually save even more money when you type in the promo code EOP10, and you will save an additional 10%. So guys, make sure you definitely order from Sherry's Tickets at sherrystickets.com.
And guys, listen, again, hit up my man David R. Cherry, 610-565-0300 for any work compensation, medical vehicle accidents, criminal law, personal injury. Hit up my man David R. Cherry today. So, guys, again, if you're heading down to the Saints game tomorrow, you see some douchebag wearing a Saints jersey, you want to knuckle him up.
Don't do that.
Thanks. I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Okay.
I called my lawyer, and Dave Cherry said, "Don't do that."
Okay.
There's your free law advice.
Yeah. But, okay,
don't do it.
So don't do it. So anyway.
But like you guys said, tomorrow a lot of people are going to be going right from the parade to the game, so they might be already a little tuned up from drinking at 3 a.m.
Dude, listen, it's going to start around 9 o'clock tonight, and it's going to be booze fest straight through to the game tomorrow. So definitely make sure you hit up David.
Our Cherry.
It's funny that they're coming in on our big parade in Mardi Gras so far away. Yeah. They're gonna know what's gonna hit them. But guys, don't forget, here's your amazing lineup. Most of it has occurred already. So if you missed any of the great shows, it is podcasting on the major podcast board. So if you missed any of the great shows here, such as the Attacking Third or the Sully Squad or today's show, which will be up right after we're done talking here, you can go back on all the EOP podcasts on all your podcast platforms. But don't forget, tomorrow we have pre, post, and halftime show. I will be on the post game show as of 10 minutes ago. So I'll be able to talk the wrap up of that slaughtering of the Eagles against the Saints, hopefully. And don't forget all across all the time at night.
Hit up those guys, man. I tune into the all across all the time. Check out my man Muffler Mike, my man Sean Slott, and my man Gary. those guys, man, boys from up north, they kill it. They kill it every time. I mean, so if you guys want to talk, if you guys are thinking about getting some Philadelphia wings, you want to ask those guys some questions, hit those guys up, man. Good dudes.
All right, guys.
Now let's enjoy some meat.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And when you're getting banged up, make sure you take an Uber so you don't have to call David or Terry. You know what I'm saying?
And what kind of banged up we talking about?
All kind.
Okay, you got it.
Now you're
ABU.
kind of banged up.
On that note, guys, Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.